Good morning. So, it never really rained hard. In fact, I worked through the sprinkling yesterday and got this row weeded. And it's morning time, and I'm out here enjoying my coffee in my pajamas and robe. There's mosquitoes like flying all over me and stuff. But I'm really proud of the effort that I was able to get put into here. And I noticed after weeding that what is in my garden as far as little critters go, I do have Japanese beetles, and I've seen the green cabbage moths. Mosquito on my finger. I'm not going to stay out here too long, but yeah, see, now you could better see my celery and how well everything's growing. And I had to do some pruning because of the lack of airflow with the amount of heat and humidity we've been getting. But anyway, I did some pruning. It wasn't too bad, so now I think is a perfect time to get this done. As much as I like clover and like the benefits from it, there is a time it's got to come out because of the lack of airflow, and now is that time. There is lots of airflow now. It's not perfect, especially this side, because I weeded all this in the dark. This side I took my garden spade, loosened the soil up underneath the plant, and was able to rip up more roots. And I know there's a bunch of clover seed pods that fell, and I'm okay with that. It looks better, and it's going to do just fine. So tonight I want to get, if possible, fingers crossed, I get this row weeded and plant out my okra. So I got to do this one and this one, and if I don't get to plant my okra tonight, well, tomorrow is definite. And I still have to take the hoe after this area. Excuse me, mosquitoes. But my peppers look like they can hold out for a little bit longer. Some of them need planted soon, but they'll be okay for a couple days. So this is what I just enjoy about gardening in my garden, is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make mistakes, you can learn along the way. At the end of the day, you're still going to learn something and have something to eat. I mean, it might not be the biggest harvest ever. It might not be as beautiful as other people's gardens. Whether you think that buying more expensive things looks better, which I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but it's not what that's about at the end of the day. The fact is, people can grow their own food, and it's a very nice thing to do. It's very relaxing and very grounding and all of that stuff. It just makes you appreciate nature and the ecosystem that comes on here. Because yeah, there might be some bad bugs in your garden. Oh, that's not a bug. But then there comes the spiders and ladybugs and praying mantises that help take care of that ecosystem for you. So it's a really beautiful thing. I do not like putting pesticides in my garden for 1, that reason, 2, environmental reasons, and 3, because I'm eating it and I would rather not eat pesticides. But even if you choose to do that, I still think it's better than store-bought. And about my worm bin's doing fine. Now, some of these worms are like trying to crawl out of the top. We let it out in the rain one day, and there's slugs, and I've seen some sort of beetle crawling around here, but that's its own ecosystem of its own, you know. I don't hate against it. They're doing their thing. They're already eating up the fruit before they eat the carbon, and it's whatever. I know when I had this in the basement, see, there's even a baby up there. They're reproducing and loving this in the little tiny space I gave them. It's just going to continue to build up. See the babies? Oh, but then there's the slugs. And I'm going to go through with scissors and annihilate these slugs. But I just want to show you, this is its own ecosystem of its own. And I bought this tote at Walmart for $8 in the Christmas section after Christmas was over. Now you go to buy one now, they're like $15. So that's going to be my next tip to you, is to get them after Christmas, because that's the best deal you can find. And all I did was take an eighth of an inch drill bit and drilled holes literally everywhere along the top and the lid. Now, if you choose an 1/8 inch drill bit, the worms can't come out, even if they're babies. But if you go any bigger than that, they're going to be able to, and that's not what you want. If they need to come up for air, they can come up. Obviously, if they want to go back down and eat in the moisture, then they can do that too. Game changer. I just went catty corner across the street and obtained massive amounts of jars and some rings and some lids and a roaster pan that needs cleaned up and a dishwasher full of jars and more jars and some. Look at this. Look how they're still in the package. Look at this. And these have jars in them too. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I'm going to get as much gardening tonight after I'm done cooking dinner is done. And we'll go from there. I must not have hit the record button earlier, but I opened this one jar. They are both sealed. These are from 1988 down Muncie, where Ball State University is. I know, because I'm an Indiana resident. And I'm going to show you these jars again, which isn't a surprise to me because I already saw them, how nice they still are, right? And I've thrown away a couple other of these old jars where the gaskets just look questionable. Like, I'm not going to recan with those. I'm not scared of recanning with lids. It's if the gaskets don't work, it's not going to seal, and I don't want to roll the dice with that, because if I'm reusing lids, there's going to be time when they give out anyway, and I'll have to throw them away and buy more. The neighbors didn't think I was crazy reusing lids, and I'll show you why. These are little treasures I found in one of those ball lid packages I got, or it's the rings, I can't remember what it was, but look how old those Miracle Whip jar rings are. They're metal even, they're not plastic. And now I'm messing them all up. But you see, they had that in their arsenal. I don't think I'm crazy. And when I mentioned I reuse lids, they go, nah, do it anyway. They've done it for years. No rules applied to it. And that's just it. When you're without rules and regulations, what can you do? What can you do? If it doesn't work, learn from it. If it does, learn from that too. It's a beautiful thing. I just want to tell you how much of a blessing this was for me. Like, I was out in the garden weeding to plant my okra seeds, and then I heard my name called with, "You want some jars?" And I come running. Like, this was incredible. That's money saved, guys. This is a total blessing from God. And I just want to let you know that I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.